Hey Scrapbook friends, it's Nicole, and I just wanted to share a quick 8x8 idea with you. The 8x8s are available right now through the 20th of October. The pages are available year-round, but the 8x8 albums are not our most popular size, and so in an effort to manage inventory, CM only releases the album covers twice a year. So if you think you might want to do a project in the future, you might want to look at what those choices are. Otherwise, you can start with the pages and create those pages, and then when the album's coming out again in the spring, you can pick an album cover. So I just want to show you the size difference between our standard 12x12 and the 8x8. This is the S'more Memories, which I think is on Last Chance, but I just wanted to show it to you for the size. And this is an album I made a few years ago. Red is not actually one of the current 8x8 colors, but it looks so different on my screen compared to the 12x12. It's kind of freaking me out. And all the stuff in this album is retired product. So I want to show you this as an example of an album idea and not necessarily exact page layouts that you can copy. But this is an album that I did of my nativity collections. Several years ago, we had a theme pack called Nativity, and I used that. So the artwork and the papers and stuff are from that. But you could do this with any of our collections. I think the All My Love collection is really pretty, has just some kind of soft neutral colors that would also look pretty. So for this one, I just tore some paper and used the sticker. You could use something from a greeting card or something if you wanted to do a nativity album. You'd have to find some different clip art, maybe a photo. But then the whole album itself, I just did pictures of my nativity collection. A few years ago, I did like a nativity a day on my Facebook page. And so I took a picture every day of my nativities and shared them to Facebook and decided I wanted to put them in an album. And so what I kind of tried to do is go in chronological order of when I got these nativities. So I started with my first one. I wrote a little bit about where we bought it. We bought it at Sears, and that it didn't occur to me until many years later that Mary's blonde, which I don't think, she would have been in, Bethlehem back in the day. And then I go through with the other stories of the albums. I'll tell you a little bit about that, but you can see I just used these photo mats. These are 4.5 by 6.5 photo mats, and just kind of put them randomly on the page, a lot of them, just to give a little bit of contrast. But the main focus is on my photos, which I think is always good for album making. So here's one my sister bought me when she was on a semester abroad in Jerusalem. It's carved from olive wood, and I love this one. And the style of this nativity has actually really driven a lot of the future nativities that I have purchased. So we moved to Germany in 1998, and I was able to then continue to add to my collection. And that's kind of where it turned from having a couple of nativities to having a collection of nativities. Again, I just have this mostly solid paper, just kind of in random sizes to offset. This one, the way I took the picture, had a lot of excess, so of course I trimmed it. Had a little bit to journal about where I got these. And some of these have more of a story than the others. But again, I did a lot of 5x7s so that it takes up the whole page. And that's something really nice with an 8x8 album, is if you want to use a 5x7, how much space you still have around to journal, but how it really fills up the page. So just some strips again of that paper, lots and lots of journaling, something that I love. This one is from Oberammergau, where they do the Passion Play. And again, I've discovered that I really love this style with kind of no face, and a little bit modernistic is what I have found that I'm really drawn to. Here I actually matted the picture. Again, my 5x7. Again, here I just did a little strip. So I'm not going to necessarily tell you about every little page. You could be able to see some of this, how I did it, and how it's just a way to showcase my collection. So if you have a collection of anything that you might want to save, you might want to be able to tell the story behind the things that you have. Maybe you have a Christmas ornament that you bought, a Christmas ornament each year for your child. And then maybe when they grow up and move out, you are planning to gift them that. You could do something like this, or you have things that you inherited from a grandparent, an ancestor that you want to tell the story of. This is a great size for that, to just take a picture and then tell the story of where why that item is special to you. I know that my parents have inherited a lot of things from my grandparents that are special to them, but I don't necessarily know why they should be special to me. And so for me, this has been kind of a labor of love for future generations who are going to see my nativities and to know what makes them special to me. The one thing I don't have on here is like scale. I wish I would have, put a quarter in here for size, because it would have been bigger than this little sheet. But for me and my collection of nativities that I love, this is a great little book. And again, super simple. I didn't really follow a pattern. I just used rectangles and strips and mats and a couple little Christmassy stickers. And actually some of these I don't love. Some of these nativities I bought and decided later on I didn't love them, but they're still part of my story. And then the last page is my bookshelf that had all my Christmas nativity display. Now, if you've watched my video showing my wall of scrapbooks, you know that no longer do I have this short little 2 cubby high IKEA bookshelf. Now it's 4 high. And so this was from many years ago, Christmas 2011. And the book kind of ends right here. But what I've done in the past, 9 years is I've now taken pictures of my other nativities, and I plan to add to them this year. So hopefully at some point I will be able to show you round 2 of my Christmas nativity album. But I thought this might be inspiration for you if you're looking at some of those 8x8 albums and wondering what you could do with them. A collection album is a great use for the 8x8 size. All right, I hope this was inspirational to you and gave you some ideas of how you can record the stories behind some of the things that you treasure. And I'll be back again soon with some other album flip-throughs and technique ideas. Thanks a lot and happy scrapbooking.